games we had.
I'm a Dorito loving Mountain Dew drinking Xbox
Oh,
360
yeah.
Modern Warfare 2
Okay,
Roscoe Scope.
360. I want to talk about 360.
Is that okay? 360.
Halo 3 is awesome.
And that's the podcast.
Was it
Halo 3, honestly, Halo 3 party chat, like how Xbox handled indie games
All right.
too.
Hold it, Halo boy. I'm right there with you, but I want to go over some like stats of the Xbox.
Okay, let's go. Let's hear some stats.
Juicy titles.
One, the Xbox 360 was released on November 22nd, 2005 in the United States and Canada, December 2nd in Europe, and then December 10th in Japan. And Halo 3 is the best game ever made.
It's up there. It's up there for sure.
I could go on and on about just Halo. Like, we need to talk about the Xbox, but Halo 3 is a game that we are still playing and we are looking forward to on the PC. And when that game comes out,
I cannot wait.
It's over. It's actually over.
I was deciding between PS3 and 360. I was like, which one am I going to buy? And I was like, I'm going for 360 for Halo 3.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm buying this 360 for Halo
Master
3.
Chief for Smash. That's all I have to say.
But no, Halo 3, it's crazy how great that game is.
I mean, good things running threes. Think about it. Gears of War 3 was,
Oh my god,
genre
it's
changing.
so much
I mean,
fun.
I think
with
Gears
that.
of War 2 was better in my opinion.
I
But
have to disagree. I'm a Gears of War 3
Gears of War
fan.
3, the Horde mode was amazing.
I
Like,
think overall with its content, I think it was just the most.
I had more fun with Gears of War 3, but Gears of War 2, like playing the campaign.
I think
we played through the co-op campaign.
I like the campaign of 2 better, honestly, than I do 3.
Yeah, it had more emotional beats. But Gears of War 1 is also a solid choice. For
It's a
like
very
co-op
good game.
campaign.
I mean, we played through that whole campaign when it was re-released. You remember it was
Like
amazing.
with the what was the bad guy's name?
Oh God,
Rob.
General something.
Rev. He was a
Rob,
bad whatever his
that
name
boss
was.
was hard.
But he was a badass.
And you could play as him in 3, which was
Yeah, they released a
Awesome.
DLC
Yeah.
for 3 where
The Carmines, dude.
Anthony, Benjamin, and
No, not Carmichael Carmine. No.
Yeah.
but
something.
I
Character
think
that doesn't die,
3
Carmine.
had the best multiplayer. Like
Oh,
you could,
for sure.
3 had a competitive scene.
Yeah.
3 had a competitive
Wait,
scene.
are we talking about Halo 3 or Gears of War 3?
Gears of War 3.
Both.
But I mean, both had a competitive scene. But just the Nasher shotgun, like you just run up to them, shoot it, roll back.
I'm sorry, but nothing feels better than the
Lancer,
chainsaw.
yeah, what?
Nothing feels better than getting the
But,
chainsaw.
but what was optimized in combat? For
as,
sure.
as like a little like 13, 14-year-old playing Gears of War 2 and just like, you know, you're playing all this like Modern Warfare 2 and like you're playing, you know, it's like bang, boom, right? And then you're playing Halo 3, it's the same thing, bang, boom, right? You play your Gears of War, it's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like so
Gears
appealing.
of War is awesome.
It taught me what a curb stomp is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you have these cool executions, and looking back on it, like you can still have fun with Gears of War. I don't know what the series is going on with now. I haven't really checked it out.
I'll be honest. I mean, I think I learned more swear words from Gears of War 3 than I did from anywhere else.
Dumb motherfucker, dumb.
I was like, wow, this is
Coltrane, awesome character, by
amazing.
the way. All the characters are great too. in
Baird,
Gears of
I
War.
love Baird. Baird is my
Well
favorite Gears
Dom?
of War. Dom, yeah.
Very well
Marcus. Marcus, like, I think people, like, oh, the thing I want to talk about the Xbox is the trailers for the games.
Ooh.
Gears of War 1, when the Mad World
Oh,
trailer.
Yeah, that was a good trailer.
Nakey Jakey sums it up best with both Halo 3 and Gears of War.
The Halo 3 trailer is very good too.
The whole advertising and like the everything for that game, it just gives me goosebumps, just like how much I feel for that game.
Yeah, if I have to think about anything that captures like the nostalgia factor, it's got to be Xbox's games. When you think about like classic Halo soundtracks, like watching the trailers, nothing beats it. Honestly,
And it's just that
All the boys in the bathroom.
T-posing.
it's also just the nostalgia of custom games of Halo 3, all those crazy games. And then Halo Reach came out, which went crazy on the custom games and put the Forge up to a next level so you could play kind of whatever game you wanted to play.
and I mean, we can't forget about ODST.
ODST has one of the best, one of the best campaigns.
Bold claim, yeah. I think ODST was the best single player experience I had on Xbox.
It's so good.
It's not my kind of story.
It's kind of like poetic. Honestly, it's so weird.
It's Halo 3, and you don't feel as badass. And that's insane because in Halo you feel badass, and
It's
they
just-
took that
You're
away.
Master Chief. You're like
Yeah.
the dude.
They just
you're like
make you-
John 117. That's a reference to the Bible. You're like the dude. in
ODST
that
is a
game.
human story. It makes you vulnerable.
And
You know?
it's
that's true.
like
That's
you
amazing.
feel for everything because of what's happening, right? It's
Yeah.
like it's between Halo 2 and Halo 3, I believe, right? And it's
Nothing beats that story for me. It's just
in
so
the flashlight
amazing.
and like the night vision, like it's just like it was so cool. And like you got introduced to Buck,
Yep.
and like who's a staple of Halo 5, right?
I didn't play Halo 5.
it's
Interesting.
If they had
Yeah.
co-op, it would have probably been the best Halo.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird choices made there.
The
for sure.
online for that game is pretty nuts.
I'm
It's
looking
nuts.
forward to Halo in the future, but for me, like Halo's always gonna rely on like Halo 3 and Reach for me. Like Halo 4 was fun, but I didn't really get too into it.
4 was amazing. I
The midnight release for
yeah,
Halo
dude.
4.
I will
Yeah,
always
we all
remember the
went to the
tournament we
midnight
went to
release.
GameStop at, which really sucks they don't do that anymore. GameStop.
This guy Bilo right here, he stayed up the night after, the day afterwards, and we were just playing the campaign the whole
Amazing.
day. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
didn't you and me play through the campaign? I remember I played through it with co-op with someone. It was amazing.
Halo
did
4,
it the same-
it's just the
same
thing.
night.
The thing that's different. We always we do LAN parties, right? And I had this giant LAN party where we had 8
Multiple times.
Xboxes.
We
and
did this recently with Halo.
Yeah,
3.
but that was like I'm talking about the big time, right? We had 4 Xboxes at the last time, even though that's a lot of Xboxes.
That's 16 people.
It's 16
all in a
people.
room.
We did not play Halo 4. We did not play Halo Reach. We
played Halo?
Halo 3 is always the way to go.
And we played Sand Trap, and we played
Sand
I mean,
Fox.
let's be honest, the best custom games are on there.
But I'm wondering, nostalgia is so strong for Halo 3.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so it's hard.
But
to
it's
take
such
the-
a good game.
It's hard to take the
Why
bias.
do you
bias out
think
of it.
why do you think that it is like that for you though? Why does it have such a strong nostalgia factor?
I'll give one experience. Do you remember when we were playing? It was you and me, and we were co-oping Halo 3.
Yep.
And we were finishing the last mission.
Yes, just about to
and,
say
like,
that.
The music
Driving
is
away,
playing, and we're
oh,
like driving,
God.
playing, and then
Everybody
after
has
that,
that.
everyone has
Yeah.
that moment.
and that was like the first time we did, and we finished the game.
Yep.
And then David here, we call him up, and we're like, we just finished the campaign, we want to play, and then we just played Infection all night.
Yep.
And that was fun. And
Amazing.
Like,
So
great
cool.
experience. Like Halo 3 really, it gets on the nostalgia. Looking back on it, the fact that we're still playing it, I can still say it's a good game.
I think it's the most replayable game ever.
Absolutely.
The campaign, the fact that you can do it with 4 people too, that's crazy, and we need to try that.
Playable game of all time. That is a bold statement.
Oh man.
That is a bold statement.
But
Am I wrong?
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying there are many other games.
I think it's
that I would
definitely a contender.
there.
It's a definite contender for it. I mean,
it looks so.
the
good
release
to
of
this
Halo
day.
3 was at 2007, right? Was when it
Yeah.
released.
I think a whole
Everyone was going nuts for it.
genre of people would call that one of their favorite games. I
It's
think that's the most I can say for it.
it's like
It hit at the right time. It definitely hit at the right time.
Yeah, and that was at the peak of like the PS3. Actually, it's like a little bit at the beginning, honestly. When
Yeah.
it came out, it was a strong starting foot for Microsoft, which is probably why I think it was ahead for a long time, is because Halo 3's made such a huge path for
But
it.
Halo is also like Microsoft's like big thing.
So it was a
because-
magnum opus, dude.
Because but the original Xbox, it had Halo,
And
and
Halo 2.
people bought Xbox for Halo 1 and 2, and I mean that's a whole nother thing right there.
and
then they
Beal and I
re-released it.
played Halo and Halo 2. We played that. Like
Oh,
we would
yeah.
go we would play
I had-
Melee, we played Halo and Halo 2 at his house, and we played that for hours.
Yeah, I
And-
had an original Xbox, the controller with the fan in the back. Super sweet.
Oh my god, yes.
I want to stress this though about the Xbox. We're talking a lot about multiplayer experiences, and we're ignoring some of the single player experiences that were on the 360. So, 360 actually had a solid indie library.
Oh yeah, Child of Light.
Yeah, but not just that. Like it actually had like an indie library where like people could submit indie games
Yeah.
and you could play them. And there was a bunch of different indie games that were released for the 360, like and then Minecraft was released on the 360
Yeah, I was
before
gonna
PS3. I think it took a long time before the PS3
Oh
eventually
yeah,
got it.
absolutely. It was near the end of its
But-
lifespan when it got
but in
Minecraft.
terms of single player games, I want to mention Fable.
Fable
Oh
2.
my
It was
God.
Fable 2 and Fable 3.
Fable 3.
I,
Oh my
I
God.
think Fable 2 is better than Fable 3. I have better memories with Fable 3, but
Co-op and Fable 3 was insane.
looking back on Fable 2 and Fable 3, they're not that great, but when I played them, I loved them.
They
Like-
had a very nice charm.
But say, yeah, they had their own charm.
back in that day, back in that era, they were very
It was like
fun games.
It was like Dungeons and Dragons, but Sims.
All I remember from that game is a chicken.
That's
Why do
pretty
I
good.
remember a chicken from that game?
Oh, because it was the intro sequence. I love that intro sequence. Like the chicken is like
That's
flying
all I
around.
got from that game.
And
And,
then
then
the
the
chicken
meme is
dies.
like where he's playing, whoever the guy that created is kind of like he's kind of a meme. I don't remember his name, but he's like
It was
test
Lionhead
demoing.
Studios.
Yeah, the guy was test demoing
bald
it, and
guy.
he was playing on the Xbox, and he's like, "This game's gonna be revolutionary." And the first feature I want to introduce is, and then the Xbox turns off. He's like, "The first feature I want to introduce is why has the screen gone to black?" And it's just
Okay,
like-
and that's one thing I wanted to talk about for the Xbox too. Is like, never have I had to do so much maintenance for a console.
the red ring of death.
I mean,
Okay,
there's
but they fixed that with the Slim.
for sure. But I mean, if you
My
think
Slim still works today, no
when-
problem.
I'm saying when it comes to
If you
PS3
have it.
versus Xbox,
The
I mean,
original.
Yeah,
the
Xbox.
original
broke.
Xbox had some problems.
you have to think about what problems did you hear about the PS3 versus you did for the Xbox.
There was some problems.
There
with
were
the
some
PS
problems with the PS3.
but the Xbox was 50% broken. That people sent
It's
it.
also cheaper.
It's also
Hence the
cheaper.
problems.
And like
But-
you had to buy a whole new console to get rid of that issue.
yeah,
They all broke.
They mine
I'm not saying
broke.
it makes it a bad
And I was
console.
so pissed.
My question though, if you take out the games and just look at the console and the interface, which is the better console
Are you talking about like
in terms of like the system?
the Wii?
Yeah,
Okay, stop. I think the PS3 is a better console, but I think the 360 has a better selection of games.
I think Xbox has more personality.
yes,
you got
it
to,
has more
you got
personality.
to make a little user. What do you would like?
Xbox Live
yeah.
Chat, the
You know how many
avatars.
dumb
like-
minutes I've spent sitting on the home screen spinning my guy's head? Who hasn't done that for like a straight like 5 minutes just because they're bored? I mean, and you look at your friends and like, oh, like I know that person. I can associate their little crazy dude with your
Yeah,
gamer
avatar.
profile. When like on PS3, I was like, oh, I just know this person who I play Call of Duty with occasionally.
I still
You
play
know?
my 360
Me
today
too.
though. Like
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
still like I'll just throw on like Fallout New Vegas or something or like just a game.
I have
just
so
throw
many
it on.
classics on there. Play like Transistor. I mean Bastion.
Since we're talking about the hardware of the 360, I'm just gonna say one word, and it is JTAG.
Oh, right, the JTAG of the 360. That was a thing.
That was a
back
pretty
in the day.
ridiculous process of
Yeah.
modding games, hacking games.
Did anybody like hack their PS3?
I mean, I didn't get an
Did you hack
Xbox
your
360.
PS3?
No, I never did.
Okay.
It was my dad's PS3. I remember he told me never to mess with it too
I did
much.
a little modding with the 360. I never modded the 360 itself.
I think it was more in the Wii
I would
for us.
I would take like
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I modded the crap out of my Wii, but with the 360, you could like put your USB in, and you could take your save
Well, yeah.
files, and you could put it on the computer, and like you could do stuff really easily without endangering your, especially with single player games like Oblivion.
Yeah.
Like you could take that save file, give yourself 1,000,000 gold, and just have fun with Oblivion.
Yeah.
Much easier to do on the PC, but
The thing I want to talk about that.